right, looks like we have quite a full house here. Welcome everyone, thanks for joining. I'm Corey Dubinsky, Training Development Manager with AppSmart, and I'm here today with a great energy presentation for you. But before we get started, I just want to point out that you can ask questions during this presentation at any time. Go ahead and type those into your questions toolbar. So in the GoToMeeting toolbar, all you have to do is click where questions is, click the little down arrow and type in your question. We will get those answered towards the end of this presentation, or we can answer those after the presentation as well via email. So without further ado, I want to introduce Vince Bradley, who is General Manager of Energy Services. Vince, go ahead and take it away.
Great, thanks so much, Corey. So excited to be talking with all of you today in regards to a passion that I've had for a long time. Just a little history. So going back to the recession, actually had started the energy division at that time. So in light of that, today we see a time where there's a tremendous opportunity with energy services right now. So, with that vision of being a utilities master agent back in the day, we were able to do really well in developing a really diverse portfolio for everyone. And so the first thing I want to say is that this is really a land grab. It's a golden opportunity. Sometimes situations like this come up and they really only happen, it's very rare. Again, 12 years ago was the last time this happened. And that's when we got started in the space. And now we're seeing a lot of traction in the space. With pricing at an all-time low, natural gas adjusted for inflation is right there right now. That is a tremendous opportunity for everyone. And we wanted to make sure and let everyone know about that. We'll be talking more about that. The fact that no installation is needed at a time when telecom services cannot be installed the way they normally can. And customers really need to save money right now. So it's a golden opportunity. A lot of people feel like energy is too complex. It's actually easier to sell procurement, electricity and natural gas, than it is to sell telecom services. So I wanted to dispel that myth, first of all. And energy is also coming from the same source. Unlike telecom, where you have SLAs and you have different networks and different quality, it's very different in energy. You don't have those same issues in the energy world, making it also easier in a lot of ways. There's also no provisioning involved. It's a billing change. The next meter read goes over to the new provider that you've switched them over to. And also right now, agents can make a double-digit residual on top of double-digit percentage savings for customers. So it's a good opportunity for everyone right now. I think finally, for all of you, the commissions get paid pretty fast in energy as well, because of the fact that there's not a long provisioning cycle, installs are not delayed, things like that. So if you're looking for a space to go and upsell the other big utility to your clients, right now is definitely the time to do that. And we have the resources for you to enable you to succeed with that. So with that, I want to go ahead and hand it off to Patrick Mason, who is the Director of Business Development for AppSmart Energy. Patrick?
Thanks, Vince. Appreciate it. And thanks for joining, everybody. Just a quick introduction for the presenters today. We got Matt from Energy Professionals to talk about procurement and energy expense management, which can operate side by side. Marty with Riptide, which is about healthy buildings and pulling data and understanding operations within the building and how to better fine tune them. Jason Loyette, who you may have seen present clean tech and AI solution for solar, which is something you can do immediately, no barriers to entry. And Corey, you want to go to the next slide? Yeah, the agenda we just sort of discussed, and you can go ahead to the next slide. So just a real high-level overview aside from what we're presenting today in the portfolio. Of course, procurement, which is what we're here today to really discuss and drive home the point that if you get the utility bill, we can kick back a quote pretty quickly on natural gas and electricity. As Vince mentioned, they're at historic lows, so now is the time to save your clients money, protect them from spikes when the economy gets rolling again, and have them in a good space, not worry about that cost. LED and solar, LED we've been having a lot of great wins with. Again, that's low-hanging fruit, easy to identify. I know a lot of you know and I've heard discussions about LED. Water efficiency is something else that we can do, and again, that's a matter of getting the bill. We can look at wireless leak detection to get ahead of leaks that will cause damage. before they're caught. And also a very simple set it and forget it plumbing application via a valve. And Vince can talk to this, I think, for one in his home. He's currently saving anywhere from 30 to 40% off the cost of his water bill. EV charging, electric cars are becoming more and more prevalent, especially in the larger markets. So fleets, municipalities, cities, universities, commercial real estate, all great opportunities and a lot of good incentives out there too for installing the actual hardware. So the cost has come way down. Energy expense management or utility cost recovery. Matt's going to discuss that along with procurement, because we can do those side by side. And again, building controls, which is what Marty's going to discuss and dive deeper into. So I think the message is, get the bills. The bills are enable us to start creating a customer profile. There's a window into what the customer is spending and using the energy. And from that, we can know a lot and allow you to own that energy opportunity in the customer forever. So unless Vince, you have other things to add, I'll pass it off to Matt. Thank you.
No, absolutely. Great stuff.
Good morning, boys and girls. My name is Matt Helen. I'm the Vice President of Business Development for Energy Professionals. And I've been asked to talk a little bit on how our partnership with AppSmart can really help you bring in additional value to your current clientele and be able to sell things from your home office or your couch, because most of the solutions that we're going to talk about today don't require any kind of a visit, don't require any kind of capital from the end user, and we have the ability to show immediate values with their next billing cycle. Energy procurement is available in almost every state. There's some form of customer choice where customers are able to actually source their electricity and natural gas from another provider. Does not change their service with their current utility company. They still, in most cases, will receive the same bill as they always have. But what customers are able to do is actually have a choice on where that energy comes from. So what we're able to do, and I've not only we started with some of the AppSmart agents, but Patrick's introduced me to some of you guys, and we've already had some successes. As a matter of fact, we have somebody who's already saved a customer over $100,000 from their energy expenses. So really what we're able to do is go in and identify exactly how a customer uses energy. No two customers are the same. So what we do is we'll go in and we'll profile. As Vince was mentioning earlier, we start our process simply with a utility invoice. From there, we're able to extrapolate, in most cases, all the information that's needed to profile a customer, service class, usage, what time of day they're using energy, and then we build a profile for them. And by doing that, we'll put together an RFP and send it out to any of the about 50 different supply companies that we work with to identify price points, contractual language that's desired by the customer, and we're really able to drive down their costs. In most cases in everyday life, we're looking at a reduction anywhere between 15 and as much as 30% off of their supply, which equates to somewhere between 10 and 15% off their entire energy budget. Now, with this program, the great part of it is, as I said, there's no cost to the customer. We're just putting together and sourcing it from a different place. And for the customer to actually take advantage of this, they're able to just execute an agreement. And in most cases, as of the next billing cycle, they'll be able to see a reduction in that cost. Corey, if you could skip to the next slide. We're going to, due to time, we're going to actually just focus on actually the energy. So what we do is we're virtual energy managers. We're able to, and it's funny that we're talking about that as we're all stuck at home, but what we are is a surrogate to the customer. Most customers, most commercial and industrial customers don't have an energy manager. So their surrogate is either the controller, their facility manager, or sometimes it's their head of AT. So what we do is we're a conduit between them and all the different solutions and opportunities that we can help to drive down costs, and we bring all of those solutions to them so that they can review them and decide what's going to be best for their company. Next slide, please. So our vision is really to own the customer experience. And as we were talking about deregulation, that is one of the first things we do when we touch a new prospective customer. Through that, and also we do utility bill auditing. And through those two different opportunities, we're able to drive that immediate value, which opens up revenue for the organization so that they can either spend it on other energy expenses, or in your particular case, whatever you're trying to convey to your customer, whatever you're trying to grow with that customer, they'll have more capital that's freed up. Next slide, please. So just to touch on some of the technologies, as I mentioned, energy procurement, which is going to be the focus of what I talk about, is the sourcing of the electricity and natural gas. We'll get into what a great opportunity we have here in a couple minutes. But really, because as Vince said, natural gas, which drives both gas and electric prices, is at an all-time low. We have a window of opportunity to really help customers with budget certainty and to drive down costs. We also have the ability to help with energy intelligence, which is using technology to understand how a business ticks so that we can augment how they use energy and then again drive down costs. Energy efficiency, anything from lights to power factor correction. There's a lot of different ways that we can help customers. Renewable energy, a good friend of mine that you can see his smiling face there, Mr. Jason Loyat's going to touch on that. He's one of the most brilliant people I've met in the industry when it comes to renewables, and you're definitely in good hands if you have a customer that's looking for sustainability or they're interested in seeing how they can drive down costs through going green. Demand side management is, again, helping behind the meter, helping on the delivery side of the bill, finding different ways that we can reduce and control costs. And then consumer services, obviously, anything that the customer needs after the sale, we work hand in hand with Patrick to make sure that the customers are happy, that they're seeing exactly what they're expecting, and that things go smoothly during their customer experience. Now, in addition to those, as Vince had alluded, we are able to dig into customers' utility expenses by doing a forensic audit, by using auditors and lawyers to go back as far as each state allows by law to review for any kind of errors, overcharges, or anything that's a little bit of a overdue. Next slide, please. I'm kind of going over this, so let's skip through this one as well, Corey. And in addition, when we do the utility bill audit, roughly about 8 out of 10 customers were able to find a substantial reduction in cost. Again, there is no cost for the customers to do this. This is a great lead in, and we're going over this stuff briefly, guys, but you can always reach out to Patrick for more information on how to get started, what the messaging is, and the introduction, so you can start to touch your customers on this. But with a utility bill audit, we're able to go back and identify those errors. 8 out of 10 customers are seeing a substantial savings. It's providing instant value to them. We then follow that up with procurement, which is able to show them another tremendous reduction on their electricity or natural gas, and then the additional services thereafter. As you can see by the state map here, almost everything except for it's a little tough in the Northwest, we have some sort of opportunity. So regardless of where your current customer bases are, get that information to Patrick. We'll put together a strategic plan on how we can go at your customer chain and help drive value to them almost immediately. Next slide, Corey, please. Just to kind of briefly go over what our transactional process is. It's very quick and easy what we need from you guys to get started. So initially, we need to engage the customer. Obviously, you have the relationship. You reach out to the customer. We're going to give you the messaging, the tidbits on what's going on in the market, why it's a great opportunity, what their current utility is doing, and how we can help them with that. And then you guys need to help just with a little data lift, and that is just utility invoices for their electricity and natural gas. As I said, that'll help us put everything together. And really what our process is right now is you guys are bringing those bills to Patrick. Patrick is passing them on to our team, and then we're using those invoices to build that profile for the customer. And then we utilize our market analysis and risk management strategy to fill in the blanks so that we can provide a well-formed, thought-out presentation for the customer so they can see the features and benefits of what we're doing. Once we've gathered that information, as I said, we put together that RFP and send that out to various solution providers so that they can come back with the best price points or the best contract language, depending on what's important to the customer. And then we help with that presentation and put everything together and provide that to you and Patrick so that you guys can go out and go over that information with the customer. Don't be shy or don't be scared about the fact that you don't know energy. As Vince said, it's not super complicated, and we have a team that supports Patrick so that we'll answer any questions, we'll fill in the blanks. We'll even talk to your customers with you on the line if you'd like to help show them that value. And then obviously once we find something that they like, we help put together the contracts, execute them, put this in place, and then help manage anything that they need post-sale. Next slide, Corey, please. As I mentioned before, the savings is between 15 and 30%. It provides budget certainty. It's a really easy way to bring additional value. So you guys have helped with telecom and other needs for a lot of your customers, and you're really maintaining your book at this point. This is a great way for you to be able to reach back out to those customers and say, hey, I've already helped you in the past. Here's additional ways that I can help drive down energy costs. Because right now, every business is sitting at home as well, trying to figure out how, when they get restarted, how are they going to be able to shave money out of their operating budget? How are they going to be able to cut costs? Next slide, please, Corey. And this is my last slide. This is just to kind of give you guys a visual, an idea of what we're able to do. One of our new customers, they actually are not even eligible for electricity. It's simply natural gas that we're able to source for them. And by doing that simple lift for them, finding a cheaper alternative, they're still provided the same service they always had. But over the next 3 years, they're going to save $500,000 just by making that decision, and us doing our due diligence, which took about 10 days to put this all together and set them on a path for dramatic savings going forward. And that's the last slide that I have there. I wanted to see maybe, Vince, do you have any questions that you'd like to maybe either me touch on a little further?
Yeah, thank you so much, Matt, for asking. You know, I think that one thing that's interesting is that we know that natural gas pricing, you know, typically starts going up in the spring and especially in the summer. And then, of course, electricity pricing is going up at the same time. That's the trends that we've seen. What's interesting with COVID-19, with the natural gas pricing at all-time lows right now, it's going to be very interesting to watch this trend, right? The question, is it going to go down, right? I think, in my opinion, it probably is going to equalize it a little bit. Would you agree with that, or what do you think about that?
No, that's actually a great question, Vincent, and really that's what the sense of urgency we're able to paint that picture for customers is simply because the market is so low. It's not going to stay here. I know that everybody who has a TV or the internet saw that oil went below zero yesterday. That sounds exciting for energy prices. What that means is that the oil guys don't lose money, folks. They are going to make adjustments. They're going to close down rigs. And in the next 18 months, right now, gas is trading in the $2 range. We expect it to go to the $4 range. And what that means is it can be anywhere from a penny to 2 pennies higher per kilowatt hour that they're using, and anywhere between 10 and 30 cents higher for natural gas. So the opportunity is not only to lock in at a great rate, but it's to protect yourself going forward, because Once we break out of this, Vince, it's Katie bar the door. The market's going to scream.
Yeah, that's a great point, Matt. And I think that the reason I asked that question is because I think a lot of people on the call are from the telecom industry, and so it's a different world, but it's actually easier to work the energy play. Upselling it into your existing customer base also helps you to increase retention of your base. We've actually seen that, and literally, we don't see people leaving, with an agent that upsold energy services into the telecom relationship that they had. They just don't leave. Customers stay. And so your retention of your base is also something that you would gain as a result of adding energy to your portfolio. So I wanted to chime in on that. And to Matt's point about, just like with mortgages right now, it is a good time to lock in, a good rate, because again, those prices will go up. A lot of objections I've heard also are, well, I can't save them money. The reality is, if they bought energy even 6 months ago, the pricing is way down. And so what that means is, though, you can save pretty much anyone, unless they just signed up or just switched, you can pretty much save anyone money at this point. So it's a really good opportunity in regards to that. Any last comments, Matt?
Yeah, my last comment is just this, guys. As I said before, and Vince alluded to, your customers are at home trying to figure out how to cut costs. Energy is not selling them something new. It's something they're using every day, and it's a large expense for them. And they're always looking for ways to drive down that cost. And we have a lot of solutions between us as well as Jason. We're going to be able to paint that picture for them on not only becoming independent from their current process, but to drive down costs. So thanks for bringing that up, Vince.
We did have a couple quick questions here. One was Long Island, New York seems to be white. Is it regulated or just missing the stripes?
Long Island is a interesting little tidbit. It is deregulated. It's hard based on how they procure energy to help with electricity and find price points on a fixed rate that's below that. We absolutely can help them with natural gas, and we can look at the electric because probably 1 out of 3 customers were able to show something strong. The rest of New York is wide open and one of our best markets.
Cool. Yeah, here's one more regarding the map. I thought Virginia was deregulated for electric. The map didn't show it as deregulated. What's the status of the Virginia market?
Yeah, anybody who's interested in what's going on in Virginia, what we can do is put together some messaging and have Patrick get that into your hands. Virginia is actually in a fist fight with suppliers. The utility is trying to rearrange deregulation. It had been approved, then it was pulled back. Now a customer can only source if it's 100% green, but there's restrictions on that. So it's a little more convoluted there. It's wide open for gas. It's a partial for electric, and we definitely can look at things on a case-by-case basis and find some wins.
And I think we'll have time for just one more question here. Is DC deregulated?
Absolutely, open for electric and natural gas all day long.
Great. All right, we have a lot of questions coming in. Just so you know, we will get these either answered at the end, or we'll touch base with you after this presentation, because I think we're going to have quite a few questions. So we'll go ahead and continue to move on.
Fantastic. So we want to move along here. And so I wanted to introduce Marty from Riptide to speak more about cloud solutions in the energy space. Marty?
Yes, hello everyone. So thanks for the time. We're going to move this fast, and then you'll have, of course, the AppSmart team to follow up when you have specific opportunities. So as you lead with energy procurement, which I think is absolutely the right play in this market with the right partnership on this webinar, it's also an opportunity to talk to your customer base about what they're doing as they're thinking about moving into their physical business space, because there's a lot of thinking right now about how they're reconfiguring. Our desks now need to be moved 6 feet apart. If you're a doctor's office, what kind of new care do you have to have in your facility to promote a healthier building? Healthy buildings is going to be a very top of mind topic, and it's part of the energy equation as what drives healthy buildings. A lot of it is airflow, HVAC, which is one of the primary drivers of your energy expense. And if you move to the next slide. So what we do is we help we help buildings with being more healthy by monitoring their indoor air quality, by managing airflow, so that fresh air component of bringing that into an air conditioned or conditioned space is very valuable, as well as in making sure that they have the right grade of filters that help pick up that particulate and any contaminants in the space. And so what we're seeing is that certain types of industries, whether you are, your customers are maybe assisted living, dentist office, doctor's offices, office space that are going to have workers in, that they want to make sure they're in a healthy environment, that this is now going to be part of the conversation. Next slide. And what we do together with the AppSmart team is we leverage that communication network on the networking side to add in sensors and connections into the existing HVAC systems, and put together an entire both energy management system so that we're controlling to manage to the lowest cost possible, but also bring it in with the indoor air quality and fresh air quality that we're seeing in the HVAC industry is driving new standards and new codes, and especially bringing that healthy environment. Just like we've been watching in the grocery store that all kinds of new things are being rolled out to, spray down your carts and have just social distancing. We see the same thing is going to be happening as we move back into the physical offices and business starts up and running. So opening the door on that conversation around energy, and perhaps asking your customer base, what are they going to be doing as they're rethinking their physical space, and is indoor air quality and having a healthy environment there top of mind, and is that something that's critical for their business type? So next slide. And actually go on to the next one. And like, you don't need to be an energy expert, you don't need to be an indoor air quality expert. This is really sort of a half an IT solution that we put in and half of an OT or operational technology. So we simply put in networks there and bring it into the communication network and leverage a cloud technology to give them the application that manages indoor air quality, manages the energy expense, manages the HVAC system. And so it's very much sort of this half industry, which is really on our shoulders to bring that knowledge and subject matter expert to, as well as the communication side that I think you're all more familiar with. We can go to the next slide. And go one more, please, just for the purpose of time. I'm sorry, one more. Thank you. So where do we see the opportunity? If you're having a conversation that you're talking to them about their energy expense and cost containment around energy, we suggest going ahead and asking the question of how they're thinking about their business in general. What are they needing to do for their physical space for reconfiguration? These are some of the hot areas that we see. Healthcare, anything in healthcare. If you think about, if you've been doing anything of reading of what's happening in healthcare, a lot of the office spaces that have a large portion dedicated to office. Hospitals are now going to build more isolation rooms. So there's a lot of reconfiguration going on that give the opportunity to bring a remote monitoring, remote indoor air quality kind of diagnostic system. Offices, groceries, schools, assisted living, doctor's offices. If you click one more time, what we recommend is that, start the conversation with asking how they're thinking about restarting their business. Find out if indoor air quality and managing their building infrastructure is something that they need to have top of mind. And if so, you can talk to them about wireless communication systems through the partnership with AppSmart that can be brought in to manage the amount of fresh air, to manage the HVAC system. Think about it from a healthy building and both cost containment of how this HVAC system, which is that largest driver of energy most often in buildings, are being used. That's really just your job, is to help uncover that. And then, of course, bring that back to Patrick and your channel manager team, and we will then do the rest. And what that process looks like is we essentially understand how their site or their building or their office is outfitted with HVAC. We design an easy to put in kit that brings the sensors in, jumps onto a wireless communication network and outfits them with an app that puts essentially how we manage their building on autopilot. And we have a partnership of HVAC throughout all North America, with the largest HVAC company that gives us access into every market that you're likely in. And so it's really a partnership with them on the OT side, and you all leaving on the telco IT side, to make these kind of solutions in for your customers. So I think I got that in at a high level there. Just want to show you, we've done this for lots of customers and lots of big buildings, from schools to customers that you probably shop in today. So this is something that is easily adapted to different types of verticals and offices. And we look forward to you reaching out into your customer base, having those discussions with how they're rethinking about their business, see what the physical real estate impact that they're thinking is, and if you believe there's an opportunity. And of course, probably budgets are going to be top of mind here. Doesn't mean that these solutions break the budget, but some will be looking for pure cost containment. Others are going to need to meet new standards like dentist office and give their customers the comfort knowing that it's safe to get their services. So they are going to be needing to spend some money here. I think this is a real opportunity to be a trusted advisor and partner with your customers to get them outfitted in a way that gets them ready for this new normal that we are all now in. So if you see an opportunity that looks like that, reach out to your channel manager, Patrick, and we'll be happy to help.
Thanks so much, Marty. So Corey, was there any specific questions for Marty before we move on?
No, I don't think anything too specific. Here, I'll throw this one out there. What kind of budget spend should a client expect to invest?
Yeah, it can be, as low as a few $1,000s for small sites that are really just looking for very basic energy management, up to, we have some jobs that are in the hundreds of thousands. So if you do have substantial customers that are in healthcare, our large office building type customers that really care about the right environment, these are going to be high ticket. They could be high ticket sales, very profitable for you as well.
Excellent. Okay, thanks
Great.
again.
Let's do one more real quick. A lot of people are asking, what's a client size that seems to be a good fit for an energy audit?
Yeah, that's probably good for Matt. Matt, is that a good question for you on an energy audit size?
Yeah, I don't mind jumping in there. As far as an energy audit, really what we're looking for is a customer that's got a total spend of about $5,000. Now, there's different exceptions. Obviously, it can't be over 300 different locations because we need an auditor that's going to physically look at all the bills and lawyers and what have you. So they really want to put a fence around it. A good rule of thumb is around 5,000, but in some cases, we can find something closer to 3,000. So really, if you have somebody in mind, help Patrick on it, and he'll start that conversation and hook us up, and we can really dig into it.
Yeah, and just to chime in on that one, if I may, it's important to also know that you're talking about monthly, correct, Matt? Monthly usage?
That is correct, and that's encompassing electric, natural gas, telecom, and water.
Okay, and one other thing to note is that in energy, distribution, right, is not compensable like generation of energy. And so if you see distribution on your bill, just know that that part's not compensable. It's typically about half of a bill, but it'll range widely. So again, I think that 5K number makes sense, 5K in monthly spend. Thanks so much for that, Matt. Appreciate that.
Then
okay,
one other thing I think people want to know is where's the money? Is it one time or is it a recurring?
I'll take that one. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Actually, go ahead, Marty, from your perspective, please.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say that it's in both. I think it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking to capitalize your business and grow it, invest in it, that kind of thing, then I think products like lighting offer a big upfront commission. And I think that there's also some procurement programs that can pay up to 1 year's worth of commission upfront. So for those of you that have call centers and stuff like that, that may be a good way to go. You can do a lot with that. But anyway, as it relates to building controls and stuff, Marty, I'm interested in your feedback as well.
Yeah, it's definitely both. So there's sometimes a hardware and installation component that gives upfront commissions and payments as well as an ongoing, because we are a cloud-based software as a service model that brings that annual reoccurring revenue and annual ongoing commission.
Awesome. Okay,
Hey,
so I
Vince,
think
I would just sort of real quick clarification on the audit side. We're looking for about 5 spend, but on the procurement side to write contracts, we're looking at bills MAC about what starting. I always suggest $2,000 for writing contracts.
That's a good rule of thumb as far as really driving some revenue to the agents. Yeah, we have the ability to go smaller than that. And if you have somebody in mind, don't be shy to give it to Patrick, because we'll still be able to look for it. But for you to really get a nice little nut for yourselves and develop that revenue stream, about 2,000 is a good rule of thumb.
Thanks.
perfect. Okay, so now we're going to shift over, and Jason Loet is here to talk about clean tech and what the solar space can do. And so I think we have to shift over to PDF. Is that correct, Corey?
Yep, Jason, good to have it.
All right, perfect, guys. Yeah, thanks for Corey. You see my screen okay?
Yep, you look good.
All right, great, guys. Thanks a lot. I'm going to go through my slides really quickly because I want to give you guys a demo of the platform, the AI that we're working on. We really believe that's a massive opportunity coming up in the software world. We're focused on the AI side of the model. So with that today, I want to show you guys, we really believe, hang on one second, let me switch over here. All right. We really believe that, the problem out there right now, we have driven down the cost so much in the solar industry. I know a lot of you guys are out in California and some markets that are paying a much higher cost per kilowatt hour. But the great thing is you don't even have to worry about the markets that you're in anymore. Solar can compete. That's what we want to show you guys today. We really believe that it's not being slowed down anymore by the coal industry, the gas lobby, any of that. This is a sales and fulfillment problem. We're going to position you guys to help us win this next generation of energy. How? We're powering this with AI. That's what I want to show you guys today. We've built a clean tech construction marketplace, and we're going to show you how this is going to work. So as you guys know, solar industry is absolutely exploding. In fact, by 2025, it's going to triple, and it's growing very quickly. How are we doing that? We've branded our platform for AppSmart. You guys are going to be able to log in today. If you've got an iOS device, an iPad, or an iPhone, you can actually go into the marketplace, get the AppSmart version of our software, and literally within 10 minutes be able to really take what took me, I've been in industry for 15 years, the solar industry. You're going to be doing in 10 minutes what took a lot of technical solar salespeople. It took them months sometimes to figure out. So we've built all of that into our AI machine learning platform, and you guys are in a front row seat. We are also building out where we believe is going to be highly disruptive. We're also leveraging bots that are going to be able to work with your clients with us to be able to design these systems. And what used to take weeks to take through the project cycle, we can do in a matter of minutes now. And I'm going to demonstrate that to you in the demo here in about a minute. Also, guys, you're also in a front row seat on our commercial and industrial that my team's working on with the clean tech team. We've got AI wizards in here, guys. We've already modeled 300,000 properties nationwide. We're building digital twins now of commercial sites that you're going to be able to view within the platform. I'm going to give you a demo on how it works on the residential side, and you're going to be in a front row seat to see what our proposals look like. This is our first view, guys, of what you're going to see on the commercial side. Patrick Mason's going to be able to work with you on any commercial or industrial facility that you think, and that's the great thing with solar. It's kind of hard on some of the other energy technologies to understand, have they done that lighting retrofit? The great thing about solar is just do a Google satellite view, or actually use the clean tech platform now, do a flyover, and you can see, do they have solar or not? If they don't have a solar, you guys are in the absolute perfect position to take them to the next level. So what I want to do, guys, I'm going to jump over to my iPad. Hang on one second here, and let's go ahead and launch. And I'm going to take you guys through. I want you guys to see the technology that we've been developing on the clean tech side. So you're going to be able to go into the Apple Store. Patrick's going to post the invitation link. This is the AppSmart version of the clean tech platform. You guys are going to be able to go in, click on any home across the nation. So we're covering 100% of homes across the nation. And the beautiful part of this, guys, is that the AI, once you type in that address, our platform, our AI is starting to monitor, look at your neighborhood, look at all the houses in the neighborhood. I did some pre-designs, but I want to show you guys within 3 minutes, our AI is actually looking at that rooftop. I put a California address in there. You could see within 3 minutes, our AI is actually doing that first generation design on that home. It's actually adding the solar modules on there. But most importantly, when I'm about to show you, I call it the magic part of the platform. We also show it as a hologram view, an augmented reality view of that site that you can go in now and drag the modules around. Every time you're making an update, it's going in and it's actually looking at all of the inputs, making the updates. I want you guys to see when you put in we cover every single utility in the nation is baked into the AI. And so it knows you're on PG&E, it knows it's a residential, it's looking at the rate tariff. You guys can go in now, make adjustments. If you've got the utility bill, we'll train you on how to make the adjustments. Every time you make an update in the platform, it's making those adjustments. And now what I want to show you guys, I'm going to get up. Hang on a second. I want to show you guys the 3D. So you see on the right-hand side, the 3D button. I'm on the office floor right now, but I want to show you guys, when you click on the 3D button, you're going to be able to hit place home on surface. When you click on the surface, then watch what happens. It's making an augmented reality view of your neighborhood that you can go in now. And let me show you guys how that looks. So like I said, I'm on the office floor right now, but you can see it's created an augmented reality view of that. I'm actually walking around the view right now on the home, and you can see the modules that are on it. So you could be on your home right now looking at what would solar look like. And not only that, guys, you can look at the installation map. And what you can also do now is click on the roof, and you can start removing modules or adding modules. Let's go ahead and click on it. I want to add a couple modules on here. Actually, let's take a couple off right now because I'm actually at 100% already. You can see here, hang on one second.
Jason, are you having fun right now?
I'm sorry? There we go.
Are you having fun?
That's it. All right, guys, so you guys can see what that looks like. All right, I'm gonna go back in. Let's go ahead and switch over. All right, so I want to show you guys too. If you're in California, you're in an absolute incredible market to start. Get it downloaded today. We just added 3 new finance options in the platform. So I'm going to go in. I want to show you this, guys, real quick in here. So when you click on the little person in front of the house, when you click on that, now you have full control of the finance now as well. So when you click on financing, right now we have it as a cash deal. Now this is based on zip code. We're adding finance groups every single week into the platform right now. Every time you log in, you're gonna see updates in here. When you hit on cash, let's go to the loan, and we're gonna see based on the zip code how many loan providers we have baked into the platform. So we've got 4 based on this zip code. Check this one out, guys. I want you guys to look at a couple of them. Easy Solar Loan. This is incredible. They actually have there's 0% dealer fee in here, a 4.74. It's a 21-year deal. We also added this week their 20-year deal at 5.74. And I want to show you one more in there that we just added this week as well, just to give you the power of the platform, is that you're going to be able to now present this, not only look at cash deals, but you have the ability now to add the loan products directly in. We tie into all these loan providers in here. Inium's the one that I think during COVID is going to be an absolute home run. Inium's a new one we just added in. They just introduced a 12-month, no interest, no payments for 20 years at 4.99. That's in the app, guys. When you click on save on this, you can go in now and actually look at that contract direct in the platform. So up in the right-hand corner, when you click on generate proposal, watch what happens. That proposal that I just built, I just designed the modules on, created a proposal. Everything is AppSmart branded. You can see your proposal's AppSmart branded. All of that information is baked in here, guys. You got a full proposal, everything you put together right there, the investment tax credit. I think a lot of you haven't really seen the price of solar in a while, or you looked at it 3 years ago. Look at this. I mean, we're at $14,000, and this just has commissions baked into it as well. All of that is baked into the platform. You guys have the ability now to go in, look at that, and actually sign the contract right with the homeowner right in there. So it goes to DocuSign. So I wanted to show you guys one last thing, and then I know Vince is probably going to kick me off, but Vince knows I could probably talk about this all day. One more thing, you guys are in complete control of your commission. I didn't point that out, and I want to be very clear on that. In the financing tab, in the AppSmart platform, when you scroll down to the bottom of the financing details, your sales commission is baked into the platform. When you click on sales commission on here, you can update your commission. This is your slider. This is your AppSmart commission. We are not holding you. It's entirely up to you guys on what you want to make on the commission side of this project. If it's your own home or it's a family member, you know what? Don't put the commission very far up. You know, you're doing them a great deal. You know, you're putting in a small one. But let's say you're in a market that has a really high electricity cost and you're doing a lot of work with that homeowner. You know, let's just mark it up to 50 cents a watt. You can see on this project, let's just go ahead in here. You can see on this project, that's a $2,480 commission. So let's update it that. Every time you make an update, the proposal's rebuilding and then it's formatted in. So you can see it went up just a little bit, but that bakes your commission in. You're in complete control of solar. And that's the presentation I wanted to give. Any questions, guys?
Yeah, real quick before we jump into questions, Jason, I was enjoying that. That was awesome. Thank you. And you know, talk about tech. I mean, it's just so exciting to see the technology right at work. And I know it's, you know, back in the day, we same with you. We had to do the hard work, right? This is making it so much easier. Those of you that have a relationship with commercial real estate firms or real estate brokers in general, go talk to them about this because this technology is what they want. So that's just one vertical, one example of where you can go with this technology. I just wanted to kind of chime in with that. And to that point, you know, commercial solar is certainly something we can do. It's exciting though to be able to help. I think, you know, one of the things we've looked at doing is like helping out distribution. So within our own homes and stuff like that, you know, tapping the solar, you know, use the technology to sell the service, right? So that's kind of what we're talking about here. Anyway, yeah, definitely. Any questions there, Corey, for Jason?
Yeah, a few quick questions. Oh, one thing I want to point out, Jason, you gave me a link to the portal where we can partners can register. So I'm going to go ahead and post that right now to everyone, so you have that link. And then we do have some questions here. So is this solar solution residential only or commercial also?
Yeah, so we do commercial as well. Send that to Patrick Mason, the commercial industrial opportunities. You're very, very soon going to see all the commercial integration in this platform. Like what I showed you was the residential that's live today. You can close contracts in there immediately. That is being introduced. We're not very far out, guys, from that same experience you just saw, very similar in the commercial end. But if you have commercial opportunities, definitely send Patrick. We need one utility bill to get started, very much like Matt Helland. You know, get us one utility bill from that commercial or industrial facility. We'll put together a full analysis on our side. Very
cool. Jimmy asks, what happens when a homeowner wants to see their home after solar is installed? Not sure I understand.
Yeah. I guess what he meant was that was the hologram view. So you can see that you're in control of that hologram view that I just showed. And so you're able to go in there with the homeowner. The homeowner can actually drag it around or show you exactly where they want the modules on the roof. You could do that in the hologram view.
Cool. Are there different manufacturer panel options available?
Yeah, so we use what's called Bloomberg Tier 1 modules, which is about 130 different modules. They're all bankable modules. And so, yeah, we work with, I mean, the ones that probably 90% of our industry is working on: Canadian Solar, Yingling, it's a lot of the modules then that are, the bankable companies, the manufacturers.
Is this available in all 50 states?
Yes, it is. It is.
And what
Yeah,
if the
in fact,
homeowner
we're
wants
working on Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico as well, just so you know. So that is, but yeah, you can go in today and you can model residential properties nationwide now.
Great. What if a homeowner wants to sell their home?
Well, what's interesting about solar is, you think about that. I think California's statistic is, and a homeowner lives in a home an average of, I believe it's either 5 or 7 years. And so if you think about that, the next person that owns that home, they're essentially getting free power if there's already a solar system built on that home. So it is an asset on that property. It doesn't matter if it's residential or commercial. We're hitting price points, and you guys have full transparency. You can see exactly, you're setting the price on that system. We're giving you what's called a red line number in the platform. That means we've negotiated with solar installers nationwide that are working through our platform. They're all tier 1 NABCEP certified. Best installers in the nation are in our platform. They're competing and helping us drive down costs. We're also taking on the engineering. We're taking on all the system design. You're taking on the customer acquisition. And so you're going to be able to bring the homeowner or business a lot of savings by you being the designer in that system. The homeowner can also go in and also design as well.
Great. A lot of questions around Android. Does this only work on Apple products?
Yeah, I tell you, the roadmap, just so you understand, yes, you're going to have an iOS or iPad or iPhone, or go borrow one. I promise you guys, like, let your friends let you borrow their iPad, so you could see this. I can tell you the product, the software roadmap is moving toward the web browser. I'm an Android guy as well, guys. I had to go out and buy an iPad. I'm all Google, but I'll tell you this, I mean, it is worth it. It's so powerful of a platform. And you'll see, I didn't even go through the web dashboard. You guys will see a ton of enhancements, a ton of features. And actually on the product roadmap side, we're actually spending more time on the web browser that you're going to be able to design within the browser.
Yeah, just to chime in on that, with the iPads, they're pretty cheap now and you don't have to activate service on them. So I think a lot of people might have wondered about that. So go get it. Yeah, I agree. Go get an iPad.
And Vince, that's what I did. This is the iPad is, I'm on Wi-Fi or I'm on my hotspot when I use this, and I'm entirely using iPad now.
So we're just about out of time. Corey, was there any good questions from earlier in the call at all that we want to go back to? Again, I think procurement is the biggest opportunity right now, especially natural gas. However, what we do at AppSmart Energy Solutions is we bring everything together for you to integrate it. So all of these solutions that we've talked about today, and some that we didn't talk that much about today, will be on the next webinar series that we have. However, just think about that. We can integrate everything together for you and bring it all to one solution if you'd like, or we can obviously, go a la carte with these solutions as well. So just as a quick summary, get the bill. That's what really the main thing to start this whole process is to get their bill and scan it and send it to us. That starts the conversation about a lot of what we're doing here. Obviously, a narrative about other services they might be interested in are good too. So I just wanted to mention that. We're just about out of time. Any last quick questions, Corey, or no?
Yeah, one quick last question here. What type of SLA will be available for post-install power bills? Not sure if that's referring to the cost of the bill or the
SLA, which I don't know if I've heard of an SLA. Again, as a reminder to everyone, this is all coming from the grid. It's coming from the same source that they're using now. And so, the SLA conversation shouldn't matter, but of course, Matt, definitely want to address the question if you have anything to add.
I guess is the question, are they changing sources or are they going to be billed differently? I'm not familiar with the term SLA.
Service level agreement. And that's why I was saying I don't think it's necessarily a factor.
Yeah, just so you guys know, when they procure their energy, they're signing a service agreement with the supplier to supply the energy. Does not change their current service. They don't need to put in a new meter. They don't need to hook anything up. They don't need anything installed. They don't need any inspections. It's just sourcing it differently, and they'll see that supplier in most cases on their Duke Energy bill or their Commonwealth Edison bill. So not a lot of changes, just sourcing it differently, guys.
Great.
Great.
Okay, I think we
Well, I
are
think
at
that's all the time we have. This webinar is recorded, so if you do want to go over it again, it will be in the Learning Campus within the next 24 hours under past webinars. And we will also share it out. The questions are still coming in here, so go ahead and ask your question. I'll leave this open just for a couple more minutes to gather questions, and then we will get back to you via email or phone call on all those questions you guys had. Thanks so much. Vince, you want to just wrap it up real quick?
Yeah, well, first of all, I just want to thank Marty, Matt, Jason, and of course, Patrick and Corey for their time today. I want to thank all of you for joining us today. Super excited about, upselling the other big utility into our base right now at a time when customers need to save money and we need something to sell. Thank you all for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you on the next webinar. Have a great day.